All right. So nice to see you all. And yeah, the theme of this evening, I thought would be, because it's been so sunny and people have had busy days, I thought it would be really nice to say, just if you want to sit outside, you can. So it was really nice to see some of you on the balconies or in the garden. Or for me, I've got the window open, and Olga's by the window. So it was just really being a little bit in touch with nature and not feeling, oh, you have to do mindfulness shut in a dark room with your eyes shut and, total silence. So I thought we'd start off with a little bit of mindfulness of sounds and then move into a breathing meditation. And then some inquiry afterwards, which as usual, we stop the recording at the end after I've read a little poem. So if you're sitting, of course you can lie, that's no problem at all. But I will do this as if you are sitting. And remember, if you have to move at all, that's absolutely fine as well. It's about being comfortable. It's about being alert and feeling in a kindly disposition to yourself for having made it. Some of you by the skin of your teeth get here, so which is fantastic. And just feeling alive but relaxed. So let's start. And if it's easy for you, you might want to just close your eyes. And if you're not closing your eyes, you might just want to point your gaze to a place on the floor or to your toes if you're lying down. And just take a few breaths now to sort of shake yourself off the rest of the day, of everything that's been going on, whether it's exams or recovering from long flights or train journeys or hassly work or running around looking after people. Just take a few deep breaths and enjoy the next few minutes. And just after you've taken those 3 deep breaths, just see if you can notice, I think Anne's already said it, that she could hear birds. See if you can notice the sounds outside. So just pay your attention now to the sounds coming from outside or in another room. And sort of let the sound just come into you and drift away again. I can hear birds now. So not striving, because mindfulness, we always say, don't strive, don't try too hard. If there's nothing to hear, there's nothing to hear. But if you can just notice it and let the sound pass by. You might find traffic, you might hear the neighbours. It might be really tempting to attach a story to this. You might start getting annoyed with the neighbours being too noisy, or, oh, I wonder if that's a robin or a blackbird. See if you can resist that. See if you can just let the sound be and just let it pass by. In the same way we talked about clouds passing by in the sky and thoughts being a little bit like those clouds passing by. And sounds can be the same. And then move your attention in the next breath away and move your attention to see if you can hear any noises inside. inside the room or actually on the balcony. Maybe you can hear a little dog breathing next to you, or maybe you can hear your stomach gurgling even, or the clock ticking, or someone in another room. Just let the sounds pass through. Because all you're doing is just sitting here, nothing to do, just enjoying the sounds. And then with the next breath, on the exhale, see if you can move away from the sounds and pay your attention to the awareness of yourself, just sitting here. Notice the sensations in your body. You may not have paid any attention to them all day, so just notice them. Just do a quick body scan from the top of your head down to your toes. And as you go through, you may notice some pleasant experiences, some neutral experiences or sensations. We talked about with Olga in Olga's meditation last week. Try not to hang on to those, because you will also notice, probably, some of you, some aches and pains, fatigue, heaviness. Just notice those and try not to start the stories or judge. It's just being aware of yourself in this space. Feet upon the floor if you're sitting, or heels upon a bed or the floor if you're lying. Bottom on the seat. Pressure of your back against the chair. Just breathing. And we're going to go into a little meditation, paying attention to the breath. So the breath is going to breathe whatever we do, so we don't need to worry about it. So what we're going to do is try and feel the breath in our body, pay attention to the breath. Because by doing that, we may just move away from those busy heads and that thoughts. Thoughts will be there. They'll be whizzing away like clouds in the sky, but we'll be paying attention for a few seconds anyway, until we whiz back to the thoughts of the breath in the body. So just be aware of yourself breathing. Just be aware of the movement of the breath in the body. You might be able to feel your lungs expanding, your chest expanding, and then dropping again as you breathe in and out. You might feel the rise or notice the rise and fall of your abdomen, of your stomach, as you breathe in and out. As you breathe in, your stomach will expand as the diaphragm expands. And as you breathe out, it will dip again. The diaphragm pops back. So we don't need to worry about how many times a minute we're doing it. Just be curious. Just be curious even with a little bit of sense of humor. Gosh, my stomach's really going up and down, or I'm really breathing in a funny way, having just finished my work and got here, but I've done it. Time to just settle down into gravity and notice ourselves breathing. We always think of the front of the body when we're breathing, but actually the back moves too. So see if you can really pay attention to your back and how that moves as you breathe. Be a slight movement of the ribs at the back. You might notice it as a little bit more pressure against the chair and then a softening. And what about your shoulders? I expect you'll notice them moving up and down as you breathe. If, by the way, you notice that they're a bit tight and hunched up under your ears, which is something we do when we're concentrating and busy or stressed, then just gently notice that and let them drop. And what about your nostrils and your mouth? What do you feel as the breath goes in and out? So you're just sitting here, receptive to all movement that's happening as you're breathing. It's like a wave. There's a lovely rhythm to our breathing when we let it be. It's like a wave coming in and a wave going out. When your mind wanders, because it will, because that's the practice, just notice that your mind's wandering off to the swimming pool or wherever you were thinking when I mentioned wave. And just gently say to yourself, aha, here we go, back I come. And then bring your mind back. And that's something you may have to do 100 times in one short meditation, and that's the practice. And that means you're doing really well, because you've noticed that we've all got crazy minds, and you're just trying to help yourself train it. So well done. Keep noticing. So there's this body breathing in and out. And in the next breath, on the exhale, just let go of that attention. And I'm now going to ask you to change your attention and focus on a tiny point of where the breath enters. So your nostrils, if you're breathing in, or your mouth, your lips, if you're breathing in through your mouth. If you're breathing in through your nostrils, see if you can notice what's going on now. We don't usually bother, do we? But be really curious. Is it cold air, warm air? If you've got a cold, what does that feel like? Is it sharp? Is there a lovely rhythm going in and out? Does the breath come in cold and go out warm? Or is there no difference at all? You're not imagining, you're just really feeling that breath as it comes into your body. And maybe a way to describe it is you're like a butterfly that's landed on a flower, and you're sensitive to every tiny little movement, touch, temperature. And your attention is so good that you can almost notice the air going through the hairs of your nostril. So just do that for a few seconds. And when your mind has wandered off and flown off like the butterfly, just smile and bring it back. And then just let go of all effort now. And just notice yourself just sitting here, just being, breathing, not worrying if the thoughts come in. But maybe you could take a little bit of awareness of this, what this session has given you the rest of the evening. That little space, that little attention to your body, and that beautiful breath that will be there until we pass away. It's there from birth till death. What a wonderful thing it is, and what a wonderful anchor it is. Sometimes just to breathe in, notice the breath in the body, and let things calm down a little, and the mind still a little. And if it doesn't, that's also fine, because at least we've noticed. And I'm just going to read a very short poem before we finish. And I chose it because I thought that sometimes when we wake up in the morning, this might be a good meditation to do, as well as in the evening. It's the sort of thing that we can do at any time of day. It's called The Breath by Rumi. The morning wing spreads its fresh smell. We must get up and take that in, that wind that lets us live. Breathe before it's gone. The morning wind spreads its fresh smell. We must get up and take that in, that wind that lets us live. Breathe before it's gone. So if you like to wiggle your toes, come back to the room. Wake up if you're asleep.